12, Alden Davis is here. It's our Saturday morning get you pumped kind of thing, because I know it's not the easiest of times out there. And for those of you that have been just, ultimately, here's the deal. It comes down to you. It really does. And even many of us can thrive in bad times. It's harder, but it can be done. That's why we do this. Alden, begin. Where do we go today?
Well, cars always get rated on 0 to 60, how fast they accelerate. But for us, we examine going from 0 to 1 and the hazards of Newton's first law in our lives. Get ready by getting today's handout at myvaluetree.com and make sure to stay right here. I'll begin after weather and sports.
You know what always gets me back in the game? I'll tell you, ladies and gentlemen. This gets me from 0 to 1 in no time. Do you have a headache yet? We're no strangers to love. This is all you're going to hear this morning. I'm sorry. You will not get this song. God bless you, boys. You'll hear it all starting at 10:30 here on WTIC. All right, time to go to school, kids. Here's Alden Davis. Coach, what's up?
Well, it's always a distinct pleasure to be with such a fabulous group of people on Saturday morning to focus on how to thrive in these uncertain times. By now, you printed a copy of our 5-point model from myvaluetree.com and are ready to get into action. Today's encouragement is to be on the lookout for complacency in our lives, to generate enough discomfort to get us moving, to give us the impetus to go from 0 to 1. Newton's first law states that an object at rest stays at rest, and an object in motion stays in motion unless acted upon by another force. We are the object being considered today, and when at rest, we stay at rest. This week I was working with a person who is very smart, developed a great workshop, wants to help youth, and is concerned about the long-term prospect for their job. I said, great, here's a perfect opportunity for you. One call and it will happen. The person drew a breath and paused and admitted, I'm pretty comfortable right now. My friends, be careful not to let comfort slide into complacency. Because once complacent, we are an object at rest, and in this economy, that is a dangerous place to be. Son Stephan shared an article with me this week by economist Brian Arthur in the McKinsey Quarterly. I have it posted for you at myvaluetree.com as today's handout. It is titled The Second Economy and discusses the massive changes taking place right under our feet as a massive amount of work is dropping into the neural net of the web. Conversations, human interaction, and data sharing that used to take place with people are now handled seamlessly within the framework of the web. The whole process of booking an airline flight through check-in is used as an example. When I worked as a travel agent in the late 70s, Sabre was the only system for booking flights, and it was used by the airline res agents. Just to get a ticket, there were travel agents, reservation agents, and ticket counter people. We had tariffs published and distributed regularly in paper form that I had to file and keep up to date. We had paper ticket stock, airline plates, and a large safety deposit vault to keep it all in. And we had an office full of people all very busy. Those days are gone, and so are all those jobs. Brian's position in the article is that the very fabric of the world as we know it is changing. I agree with him, and I have experienced it happening. I bet you have too. I hope you begin to feel discomfort, maybe even a bit concerned, because when a body is at rest, it takes a lot of effort to go from 0 to 1. What will it take to get you moving? Let's drive the point home with the recent announcement of UTC's acquisition of Goodrich. Everybody's bumping along, going about their daily routine, feeling comfortable, and then bam, an acquisition happens. When the justification for an acquisition is written, there is almost always a discussion of synergies. This means how much can be saved by eliminating redundancies. They will now have a redundant corporate structure, 2 security groups, 2 HR groups, 2 legal groups, 2 IT groups, 2 audit groups, 2 compliance groups, 2 HS groups, 2 quality groups. Need I go on? Something is going to change. You think Goodrich is going to move their corporate headquarters up here? People's lives are going to be impacted. As your coach, the question is, how will you respond? You are either going to be in control or rolled over when the change happens. That's why going from 0 to 1 is so important. Using your star power will have you prepared. Assess your abilities, strengthen your relationships, keep up your appearance, stay energized. There is no question in my mind you can do this, but complacency is our enemy. Objects at rest stay at rest, and in this day and age, it means you will end up on the bottom. What do you need to get from 0 to 1? Some people need a good scare. Some need to be pushed out of their job. Some of you just need to look around at others' experiences. Coach is asking you to resolve today to step up, take the first step, to just get into motion, to leave the comfortable place before it becomes the complacent place. I love to run along the beach. One time down in West Palm, after a full day of work, I went for a run and felt so in tune with the ocean that I was sure there was a message for me. As I stood catching my breath, letting the water crash around my feet, I became aware that I was stuck, like tree roots going down into the sand. I laughed at myself and realized that the message was keep moving or you get stuck.
There you go.
I didn't have to move a lot to stay on top of the stand. I just had to keep moving. Something is going to change in the world around you. Make sure you stay in control by staying in motion. The place of greatest risk is the place of complacency. I'm Coach Davis.
Well, there you go. Well, that's been one of my favorites now. That's going to be in my top 10. Probably. Is this thing on? Can I hear you?
Yes, you can hear me, especially when I talk.
Oh,
yeah, that dull gaze. Well, no, I tell you, this whole thing of going 0 to 1, I watch a lot of people who they say they want to do something, but they are stuck. And when somebody admits to me that they're comfortable,
that's a bad thing.
That is a bad thing because that quickly moves to complacency.
And then that moves to trouble.
It does.
All right. It's 7:30 on WTIC. Let's do the news.